You've done the work. You've sat with the pain. You've cried, journaled, prayed. You've read every self-help book that promised peace. You've whispered affirmations in the dark, hoping this time they'd sink in. But here you are, still hurting, still stuck, still repeating the same emotional patterns, feeling like you're running in circles. And it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're unworthy. It's not because healing isn't meant for you. The truth is, no amount of effort can fix a wound that hasn't been fully seen. And that's where trauma-informed care comes in, not as just another buzzword, but as the missing piece you've been searching for. Without it, healing becomes a guessing game. With it, the fog begins to lift. Welcome to Bloom's Nest, where emotional and spiritual healing intertwines with wisdom, self-awareness, and peace. If you've ever felt like you're carrying invisible scars that no one sees or understands, if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right yet still find yourself hurting, you're not alone. And you are not beyond healing. Today we're talking about trauma-informed care, a compassionate, evidence-based approach that could finally unlock the freedom you've been seeking. Why you're still hurting, even when you're trying to heal. Most people don't realize that trauma isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent and subtle. Sometimes it hides behind perfectionism, behind people-pleasing, behind shutting down when you're overwhelmed or lashing out when you're scared. You may not remember the exact moment your heart learned to flinch, but your nervous system does. Your body remembers. Your spirit remembers. And it's not trying to betray you, it's trying to protect you. But when we try to heal without understanding the deep imprint of trauma, we end up frustrated. We treat symptoms, the anxiety, the anger, the fear, without understanding their root. And the root is this: something happened to you, and it hurt. What is trauma-informed care? Trauma-informed care asks a different question. Not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you. Shifts the blame. It restores dignity. Brings clarity. This approach recognizes that trauma isn't just a memory. It's a lens. A lens through which we view relationships, safety, love, trust, and even ourselves. It means your inability to relax isn't because you're dramatic. It's your body staying on guard. Your fear of abandonment isn't neediness. It's a memory of being emotionally dropped. Your emotional shutdown isn't coldness. It's how you learn to survive chaos. Trauma-informed care is the process of finally telling your nervous system, you are safe now. Let's talk about Rose. Rose always wondered why she felt so reactive in relationships. One small disagreement could send her spiraling. A delayed text made her panic. No matter how many times she told herself, it's not a big deal, her body felt otherwise. She blamed herself. She thought, maybe I'm just too sensitive. Maybe I'm the problem. Then one day, Rose began working with a trauma-informed therapist. Together, they traced the roots back to her childhood. A father who loved her, but only when she excelled. A mother who was overwhelmed and emotionally unavailable. Rose had learned that love had to be earned. That safety could be taken away in an instant. That conflict meant danger. These weren't just thoughts. They were patterns etched into her nervous system. Through trauma-informed care, Rose learned to rebuild her internal world. She stopped blaming herself. She understood her triggers. She created emotional safety inside her body. And for the first time in her life, she stopped attracting pain and started choosing peace. Now Rose is in a relationship that feels calm, real, secure, because she did the deeper work. She broke the cycle. A second story. Michael's hidden wound. Michael was a high achiever. On the outside, he looked like he had it all together. Successful, composed, respected. But behind closed doors, he struggled with explosive anger. The smallest setbacks made him feel out of control. He hated this part of himself and tried to bury it with more accomplishments. But that only made the pressure worse. One day, during a trauma-informed coaching session, a breakthrough happened. Michael remembered something he hadn't thought about in decades. At 7 years old, he had watched his father erupt in anger every time something went wrong. Michael had learned, Emotions equals danger. So he swallowed his pain. And then, as an adult, when life felt uncertain, that hidden wound came alive. Trauma-informed care helped Michael rewire his response. He began to acknowledge his inner child, name his emotions without shame, develop tools for grounding and regulation. And slowly, the rage began to lose its grip. Today, Michael leads with calmness, not fear. His healing didn't happen overnight, but it happened with awareness, with compassion, with trauma-informed care. How trauma-informed care helps you break the cycle. Trauma-informed care gives you tools that go beyond coping. They help you transform, understanding your triggers instead of being ashamed of them, creating safety in your body through breath, mindfulness, and compassionate self-talk, setting boundaries without guilt, allowing your inner child to feel heard, validated, and safe. It teaches you that healing doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It means honoring what happened without letting it control your life anymore. You stop chasing perfection. You stop abandoning yourself. You start choosing gentleness, one moment at a time. Oh, what now? If you feel like you're stuck in pain that has no name, please know, there is a name. It's trauma. And there is a path. It's trauma-informed care. Start small. Find a therapist or coach trained in trauma-sensitive methods. Learn to recognize your body's signals of distress. Practice grounding. Read books by experts like Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, Dr. Gabor Mate, or Dr. Thema Bryant. Above all, give yourself permission to heal at your own pace. You're not too broken. You're not too late. There is no shame in needing support. There is only courage, the kind of courage you've shown just by being here. If this message touched something in your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe to Bloomsage Nest. Here we walk the healing journey together. And as you take your next step, know this. I'm rooting for your healing. Every single step of the way.